Oh, my. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I think we got it, Joe. I think we got it. Anybody hear us? Any sound?
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right, there we go. Finally. Good Lord. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let me get Joe hooked up. Hang on one second, guys. Joe, text me your password. Don't say it. Just text it to me.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank God. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. All right. So we got Joe up and going. Here we go. All right. So sorry about that, guys. She's all yours, Joe.
All right. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. A little technical difficulties, but we made it through. And even though you couldn't hear it, JR was calm, cool, collected the whole time. He's one of those guys that would be going down in the fighter jet and still be working through the problem, solving the problem. Going through the book, step 1, step 2.
Oh, that's for sure. No doubt about that. Calm. That's what my old high school baseball coach said about me. He said, "You're the most even-tempered person I've ever seen in my life." So
yeah, and I think that's kind of what helps you with the charts too. As you start throwing in, the panic selling and the emotional roller coasters,
right.
That'll definitely get you out of sync.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I don't know if you remember the old days. Tom Landry, when he used to coach the Cowboys, that kind of dates me back there. He was always known for his, fedora hat on the sidelines and, the calm, cool, collected, eyes veins, no matter what the game was like.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, here we go.
Now, hey, Joe, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. Before we continue, can everybody hear Joe okay? Is the sound quality okay, or do we need Joe? I don't know if you have the YouTube channel playing in the background, but you may want to drop it. Just kind of cut it.
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, and then get your mouth as close to your phone as you can.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Does everybody hear Joe okay? Yeah, kind of a little choppy, Joe. That's kind of what I thought. It's a little choppy. Are you talking on your cell phone?
I'm on my cell to you.
There you go. Okay, right there, what you're doing with your phone, keep it that way. That sounds pretty good right there.
Okay, cool.
There we go. That's much clearer. There you go.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So we got a daily of Bitcoin up, and I think as I move my cursor, I think everybody can see it. It'll have the red circle here with the corner, cursor in the center. I don't even know if that comes out. It might just be the circle, actually. But anyway, we've been kind of in a downdraft, to say the least, since the 1st of May. Coming on down, we're below that, this black line here I put on there is a 12 EMA exponential moving average. That's what GDEX uses. And then also above that's the 20 moving average. So we're below both, and that generally that's kind of bearish, obviously. That's what it looks like bullish. We're on top of it coming up and then fell below and didn't get back over. But anyway, here we go. Now we come down to this cluster of support here that we had back in April for a few weeks. So hopefully that'll, form some sort of, support there. But I pretty much guarantee we're going to hit 7,000 because, the market lives on so round numbers. And we're at 71.25 right now. So is going to be out of the realm of possibility. Let me put it on the hourly chart here. As you're saying, that when we start, I'll say this, when we start making those wicks and then those high, I don't know if you can see the red negative volume, still volume, and those big wicks coming down. I mean, that's a good indication people are buying the dip. And I can see here, now this is Coinbase, the chart from Coinbase, and all these exchanges have their own, little difference in the charts. But on Coinbase, the low for the day so far is, 7,087. Now, who knows? We might miss it by, $87 from getting 7,000, at least for right now, if we get an oversold bounce. But we look up here, we're not quite at 30 yet. I'd like to see it, in the 20s, to be honest with you.
Totally
the deeper we can get, the better. On that RSI, in order to kind of confirm an oversold bounce or, temporary rally or something. And then if I go to the 10-minute, 10 minutes, we got low, as you can see right here. I don't know if my mouse is caught up with you guys yet, but I'm looking at the RSI about 19 and a half right here.
Yeah.
And, that's what you want. Now, I doubt if that, who knows, it may or may not hold. But I like to see an up, a down, and then another green candle up here, for a possible confirmation. But, I don't know. I've really, here lately, I've just been using this 4-hour and, 1-hour charts to kind of try to get in and out. Now, as you can see, we form back on the 4-hour. Each candle is 4 hours of trading for, kind of the new people out there. And we went sideways here, 4, 8, 12, 16, going to the 20 hours here, sideways, down.
Yeah.
So we've been, and then let me get to the hourly chart. And again, we're trying to get there, consolidation. So anyway, even if I were trying to trade this, it's kind of the no-go zone right now on all that. As far as even trying to get in, I'm just going to wait until, all the boats sink or something, we're looking at.
Well, it's all lower lows and lower highs, and if I can, and if I can just, what I'll do is I'll just kind of swing one of my charts over just real quick. I mean, here's kind of what I see too, is that this is a daily chart of Bitcoin, and we've had this uptrend line since back here in February, and it hit here, and now we're trying to test it. Now, we did break below, and I've been pointing this out for a long time, this fib cluster area and fib extension area right in there, and it held on as long as it could, and now it's finally starting to get below that. And is it going to be one of those deals where we see a wick below the trend line and then move up? Or is it going to be one of these, we're just going to drop all the way down here to 6,800? That's what I'm looking at. So I'll get that out of the way real quick. I'll get that out of there.
No, you're good. No, they could definitely wick it down there. But what I was going to show people, I have this piece of this gold line going back to, it's like August or so. The 1st of September, 1st of September, all the way through, today, and it's held, in a few places along the line, so a bit of confidence in it. Then right below that, where that red line is, where I got that, let me see if I can pull it up. You have this high pivot here, which will form a little bit of support. If we get down that low, that's, right at, 6,900 or so. Let's see what that it opened, that candle right there opened at 7,020. This red candle here, and that was that high pivot, and then it went down. But anyway, a lot of times these high pivots will form, some sort of support or, intermediate bounce, rally, or whatever. But you have both. What I'm getting at, you have this long-term line kind of coming up here, the go line, and then the red horizontal support line. So hopefully you get a little bit of a, support bounce from there. That's around that, 7,000 area. So personally, if I was going to day trade it, I probably wouldn't even think about it. I just kind of hide out and watch until it hit that, at least.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because I think a lot of money will come in. There's probably a lot of buy orders right in that, right where that, circle is right there.
Yeah.
And then if that fails or whatever, then the next, almost guaranteed money is, I'd say 6,500. The reason why I say that, if my bounces come down there on top of that second red dash trend line, if you go over to the left, you see this bottoming tail, that came down. That what that is. It came down that low, then people bought it up. Right here, it came down that low, people bought it up. Came down, people bought it up here, several times all throughout, those 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, move your mouse here, right over here, just a little bit further to the right.
Oh, to the right?
No, I mean over in here. So I've got it. I'll just take it here. I'll take it.
Oh, well, see, yeah, look right there too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna swing it out just a little bit, but look at this. I'm gonna scroll. If you don't mind, I'm gonna scroll in real quick, and I'll just.
Go ahead.
So right here, look at this, guys. What Joe was talking about. Right here, you had this off the trend line, and then look at this three pattern right here with the candlesticks. You got sell off, you got a doji, and then you got a green candle. Right there is when you need to be watching. Okay, and then if you got the big green stick right after. That's a confirmation that it's a reversal. That's a confirmation that it's a reversal. When you get that next candle that comes up, and you can see what happened after, is that it went up here and just made a nice little move, right?
Right, now a high percentage move. There's a lot of money being made right there.
It was. Yeah, because you got a red candle, you got a doji that is indecision, and a green candle, meaning the bulls took back over. Now, preferably, you'd like to see the bulls get above that, but it's still worth watching.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Oh, no, I'm glad you pointed that out. And both of these are all in what we call inside bar.
Absolutely.
There's people that do nothing but trade these inside bars. They wait for a little pattern set up like that, and that's how they make their living. Believe it or not.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then you had mentioned something I forgot to point it out. If you come back across this trend line, like around 6,500 in that area, 65, 65.80. Anyway, you come on across here. There was a key point in a lot of different areas. Like right here again, we had this sell off, and then it wicked down, and then people bought it up, and then the next day, that's an engulfing candle, and boom, it sits right here. Pull it in a little bit. See right there.
Oh yeah.
Engulfing candle.
Yep.
And then people, then it went on, to the top of the world, after that. So there's, a lot of buying power right here, and that's where it'll soon to be sitting. If it comes down low, is what I'm getting at. So, I don't know whether it's going to be a long-term rally or some oversold rally. We're going to get it here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
I think anyway. Then also your daily, finally, this daily coming down here, and we're right about 30 now. Then anything 30 and under is technically considered getting to that oversold area. And I'm going to go back and see when the last time we were this low. We're getting there was February when we had those big sell-off days.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's kind of to give you the, probably wore Bitcoin out here, but that's what we're looking at. Obviously, we should hit that 7,000, and then it might even wick down, meaning back over here, something like this.
Sure.
That'll stab it down and maybe come through that 6,500 or high 6,500, 6,600, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Just
because of all that support you were talking about and people coming in. And matter of fact, that candle there where people came in and bought, that closed out at 6,800. So maybe, 7,000 down to 6,800 might be really the that $200 range might be the sweet spot to buy the bottom.
It's a big area to watch. Now, before we get out of Bitcoin real quick, I'm gonna just swing over a chart real quick.
Cool.
All right, and this is basically what this is, guys. This is the CME futures for Bitcoin, okay? And this trades a little bit different than on GDAX or Coinbase or any other exchange you can think of. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange futures. And so basically and the prices may vary and the chart may it's going to look similar, but it's going to be different in a way. So trend lines are going to be different. Fibonacci may be slightly off, but this is the one that drives the market right here, in my opinion. But here's what I want you to focus in on is, look at this, okay? We had this gap down on a daily chart right here, and I've got a little note in here. We got a gap up at 81.54. That's an untraded area, okay? And so that means there was no trading in that zone. At some point, and if you guys have been following my charts on Sunday nights, I talk about gap fills. Okay, well there's a big one right there. And I need to get my mouse cursor at some point. I'll get it on there. But it's right in this 81.67 area. That area is going to get filled at some point. And then not only that, but you got the trend line that still has not hit. And we are testing, at least on the futures, it looks like, to them, 71.46. So it still hasn't gone below that. And not to mention that the squeeze indicator has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars of red. That is about the maximum you can get in selling before you get some sort of bounce. So just a heads up, guys, that we're close to a bounce. We're close. We're not there yet, but we're close.
Yeah. We need something.
No doubt.
I don't know how. Let me throw out something. Here. Reason why I don't know if you can see this is, are we back on my screen yet, or?
You are, yeah. You're on your screen, buddy.
Okay. The reason why I throw this out, this is the first stock way back in the day that I ever bought was Chesapeake Energy. That's why I keep going back to it, every so often to look. But the reason why I brought this up is that, you can keep dropping for a long way. I'm not saying, that's going to happen to us or whatever, but starting in 2017 right here, this thing dropped and had some oversold, everything. Even you have to say that's pretty much a bear market. So anyway, as it's dropping, you even get some oversold bounces and rallies and stuff. So, you can still make money in a down market. You just have to be positioned at it and watch those things. And then finally, oil and gas going up, it's had a heck of a last, couple, 3 weeks or whatever. But just to show, things, sell off over an extended period of time. Because, see, a whole year, it sold off for basically the whole year. Now let me throw up the 50. line here, there's a lot of folks that, manage big money, and as soon as a commodity, as soon as any type of energy or whatever stock gets below that 50, they're out. And they don't get back in until everything has flipped back over. In other words, like right here, we had they probably go on the 10. Let's just say that's, I don't know if you can see what the red
nice little
circle
crossover.
is. See, yeah, does that make sense? All the moving averages are now back on top of each other, layered.
Absolutely.
You had the 12, the 20, then the 50. So those guys would just got back in then. And, I'm just saying that just, y'all want to go to the next big guy, Ethereum. And this first time I pulled this chart up there, so I'm kind of ooh and wowing here. Now, as you can see from the other day, I had this
Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt real quick.
No, you're good. You're good.
We got somebody in channel that wants to see, Corey wants to see LTC real quick. So can we jump to that one real quick?
So, yeah. Let me take everything off. And what we'll look at is just a red line. This red line, it will turn green when Litecoin is positive, it turn red. This line that goes right here, whenever it's trading red. I'll just be honest, what I'm concerned with is that for a few weeks here, we held up, and we talked about this the last live chat that we were all together, that if you go over to the far left, you see nothing holding it up. This is the first time Litecoin had ever gone through that price range of this low 100s here. So there was no, does that make sense? There was no resistance over here. There was no support. Like if it had come down and set right here for 2 weeks, I could, kind of see how that could, you had something to rest on. But right here, there's nothing. You just had that toothpick, so to speak, that one column going up if you were building a structure that the whole thing was sitting on. But as you can see, we're under all of this vibration now. We're under all that support. So we could very well go right here, and that, is low 100s, 104, 105, that zone. So the people looking at, let me throw the lines back up there. As you can see, I've already put that line there. That's what I'm expecting it to come down to that purple dash line.
Yeah.
Which is,
and just to concur with you, here's kind of, and I'll throw it over here. Here's my chart on Litecoin. And I just did this today, is this down channel that it's in. Okay? So it's in this little down channel, and it's hitting the bottom of this channel, and it could bounce off of that and go up a little bit, but then it could come back and test this little fib cluster around 108, which I think I've had that in there for quite a while, 108. That stochastic RSI is just like, that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary in a way. I mean, it's just barely above oversold, and it didn't quite get down to totally oversold. So it could still hook there. But I'm expecting some sort of bounce here fairly soon. I mean, that's just my thinking. Anyway, that's my chart there. So, yeah. So, okay. Good stuff on LTC. I love that, Joe. I love that dotted line right there. That's perfect, man.
Yeah, just to kind of, and then that's the high pivot, and then what you have after that, top operation there, let me get it out of the way, because you have this high pivot here that lines up across.
Yeah. And
if that fails, we could go, like, right in here, to 97. We could break 100, you know what I'm saying, if it wicked down.
We could. Very well could, yeah.
Or they could make it an even and you know what I talk about, those whole round numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like right here is 93. You could have a candle like this red one here, and I'm sure you'll agree with me 1,000%. As soon as this thing is done, 100% falling, we're going to have a candle like that. I guarantee. It might even come down to 50. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know, it'll be just massive sell off, and then you'll get like these volume bars here. We get some huge volume bars like this,
right?
And then that's what I'm guessing. We'll get something like that. So I would say first, order of the day is to look for that, 105 to get hit. We're really not that far from it right this second, if you think about it. And then that'd be a good little bounce zone. And then let me look at the 4-hour. And we're going to hard to see, but it's
okay. Joe is Corey is asking. Corey says his out price is 95. Where do you think we could bounce at? I mean, I'll butt in here real quick.
Yeah, please.
Corey,
okay.
Corey, I totally believe that Litecoin is getting pretty close to a bottom. It's not totally there yet. But like Joe was saying, I mean, and we may eventually end up coming down and retesting that bottom at 100. But what you don't want to see is us break. To me, here's the deal, and I'll throw my chart up here real quick. I'll just show it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw my secret chart up there.
Right.
Seriously, with all the real answers on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Corey, if you can see this, so Corey, if you can see this, here's what I've got. You get this bottom over here, okay? And maybe I need to get my cursor, but I'm afraid to open the program because I'm afraid it's going to cut my mic out or something. I don't know. So anyway, over here back in March, we made that double bottom. We came up and made a nice run and then came back and retested and didn't quite get there and made another double bottom. So it's coming back to test this 108, 109 area, which is pretty close to where we're at right now. So you kind of want to see that, but I got a fib extension at 107.48. And it could do one of those where it just briefly pops below that and then makes the run. But it's in this down channel. So we've got to keep an eye on that, and we want to break out of it, okay? Stochastic RSI is not totally there, but hey, Litecoin's it's in a mind of its own. So I don't know. I think that this area right here where we're at, we need to really hold. Okay? So I'll throw my chart off and I'll give it back to Joe.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here I go. I threw up the weekly chart. Go back to when GDAX started tracking it. It's just flat.
Yeah.
All the way, 2016, and then I think this is where, like we talked about last time, where they got on GDAX, Coinbase, and then something else that just hit me. JR, aren't we due to be on Gemini here in a few days?
I think so. Yeah, that was the talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying this candle here, when they hit GDAX, when they hit Coinbase, this is Coinbase and GDAX. Yeah, Coinbase and GDAX right here. And I'm not going to say that's going to be the same for Gemini, but it certainly doesn't hurt. That was a big exchange. So we come from, literally just dollars all the way to where we are now. So I still don't see us being in a fair, downtrend, horrible situation, But if you look, take this trend line and just start pulling it down, where do you see the most support as we come down? Well, right about here, really, that high pivot, those are going to, as we saw on the daily chart, that's going to be your first bounce again if you're looking at just the weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's in the high 70s.
Sure.
So, Corey, worst, I'm not going to say the worst case scenario, but, we could, just quite honestly, we could hit high 70s. And the only thing I'm doing is just coming down and seeing where the most support is. If they drove it down hard, it would be the high 70s there. And then back to the daily, that's where it hits. See, that high 70 deal. But we're obviously, looking back, right in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this pivot high from last anyway. That's kind of where, I'm
where
looking at that,
105.
105, whatever. It's hard to get that going right. 105, whatever area. And, he's coming down hard. Gee, see, we're already past all this. Let me throw something up there, which is, man, that's not too good. All this solid.
Yeah.
Let me pull that down to the bottom of that. I mean, you see, we're already, that red line, that little red line, I don't know if you can see it. We're already past all of this.
Absolutely.
So the only thing, his last, my coin's last saving grace is to bounce off of this, massive vibration and trading right here.
Yeah.
For about a week or so, right in here.
Well, and that's where that last major bounce was. I mean, remember the move off 100. The move off 100 was huge. I mean, it was massive.
Yeah.
So that's the area to watch.
Yeah, that was 105. Well, 104.50. 104.50 was this candle right there. And then 1, 2, 3 days down, and then it just went to the, as they say, the moon then.
Well, and if you look back even, if you go back to, February? Go back to February a little bit. Yeah, look at that move right there.
Oh, you're talking about this February?
Yeah, February. There was that move in February that was bigger than this one over here. So that 100 area right there where you got your circle.
Oh, yeah. See, that was here and here.
Yeah, that was somebody saying, hey, look, we are not going below this point. I'm just telling you. And so it made that huge move and then tried to do the same thing where you got your rectangle, but the high wasn't as high. So...
Yeah, you mean the low wasn't as low. Yeah, we didn't come down to that 100.
Well, the high.
Yeah, we didn't even...
Once it bounced off that, it didn't even get to the previous.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. But maybe this time, let me correct this so we're all honest here. How I got messed up. But yeah, if we can get, I'm telling you, if we can get over, of course it's kind of stupid talking about it now, but we can get over this down trend line going back to December, and then this high pivot here, at 180. I think 180, as soon as you get over 180, like we come up to 180, come down, hit here again, and then I think we'll be off to the races.
Well, here's something on your Litecoin chart real quick, and I'll kind of take
go ahead.
So I'm using my mouse, and if people, I don't know if I can take control of your mouse or not. I don't think I can. Anyway. So, there we go. I got it. Okay. All right. So look at these moving averages, guys. Okay. Here's the deal with moving averages. You see in this big uptrend that you've got moving averages spaced apart from each other. Okay. And that means it's support. Now, I don't know what the hell that wick was right there. Okay. I don't. But anyway, you've got support between those. And so when you get a move like that, and this is a lesson, okay? If you get into an altcoin and you see a move like this, get out. Take your profits. Because you can be sure that these moving averages are going to catch up to each other, and at some point they're going to cross each other, and then it's going to consolidate. And that's what we're doing right now. This is big consolidation. This whole move is consolidation. And you can see the moving averages, they're tightening up, right? So they get closer, it tries to move, and then it can't. Gets over here, can't. But now you got this bigger moving average, this one back here. And is that the 200, Joe?
Oh, that's the 50. That
or 50, okay.
50.
So you got the 50, and it's sliding down, but now look at it. It's kind of going flat, right? So that's kind of the base.
Swings are less. Yeah, there's less.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so that's kind of the base of support, or an area to watch. I mean, it's probably going to swing back and forth in this area. You know, we got these smaller moving averages that are driving it down, but that's what I'm looking at. I mean, this is consolidation. Does that kind of make sense?
Right.
You agree with that, Joe?
Oh, I see exactly what you're saying. No, that's true. And then these big swings, see these, from up here to down and then up and down, they're getting smaller and smaller.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, we could come down and hit here off the trend line. We could even come down again. But they are getting smaller, for whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
They are. So, anyway, then what you're talking about, the altcoins, like, okay, just Digibyte here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that. Oh, that's perfect.
Kind of sort of.
Yeah.
Both flags, so maybe it could come. And see, I haven't moved that trend line here from the last time we did that live seminar until just now.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can get back over, 0.36 cents, yeah, I should have another stab at running, to the high up here at 5 cents.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that's nice. Good deal.
So hopefully it'll bounce here and make a little run for us.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm going to clean that up and take some of those moving averages off of there. So anyway, and then so that's what Jay was talking about before. So I just went parabolic straight up. If it does that, generally there's going to be a pretty good pull back there.
Well,
the
it's one of those, nothing goes straight up. Nothing. And I mean nothing never, ever, ever goes straight up, guys. It's always going to correct. And when it does, you just have to watch out for it and look for your moving averages. Those are people, the 50-day moving averages, those are people chasing it. And they're, I say that, but it's more like the 20-day. Those are people chasing, and once they get caught into it, they're done. And then they have to start averaging down, and they have to start doing this and that. And it's crazy how it works, but that's moving averages at its best. And I like that one you got up right there, Joe. That's a perfect
this
example.
is ADA, and the last time we were on the live stream, this was real good support, that blue line, because you had support here before that major run.
Yeah.
Because it was, you had this consolidation under it. So this is a major area, because you can see how it traded up and below it several times, and we were sitting on top of it, and then today, you can see it broke, it just moved down some more. So the purple dash line is the next target right here because of this, these high pivots.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that breaks, then you're coming on down here. So
yeah, looks like that's where it's going. For sure.
Yeah. So that's ADA. That's but at some point, all these will be. As you can see, so far the ones we looked at, Digibyte everybody seems to be holding up their heads. It's OMG. It's been in this wedge, you know, for a while now.
Totally agree with you, Joe. That DMG or DGB is the one that's holding up really well right now. And I'm not, and just because I'm holding it long term, I'm not trying to pump it, guys. I'm really not. But as far as charts go, and as far as the technology goes, from what I have done my research on, there's something to it long term. Okay, I'm not talking tomorrow. I'm not talking next month or even the end of the year, but there's something to it, to me at least.
Right. Now, that's a good point. And then this, see where we're hitting it right now. That was, I'm looking at all this as support, and this right here where it took off. But of course, we break through it. I mean, we're going to come back down to, you know, the low pivot here, the lows here at $8. So, you know, we could, OMG could come back down to $8. You know, no doubt. But when, you know, everybody, this is a little off topic as well here, but, you know, everyone's talking about, you know, all this big money coming in and everything else. I don't think necessarily that all that big money and new money coming in would necessarily be just in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. I think they might, you know, flare it out a little bit, and I think some of these altcoins, the good ones, you know, that those guys that done their research on, is going to get some funding too, and, you know, all of it will make a good, you know, a good rise.
Well, Joe, I'm old enough to remember that Microsoft at one point back in the day was what you would call a penny stock, less than $5.
Oh yeah,
Microsoft was a penny stock, and so there's probably going to be one of these, and I have no idea which one it's going to be. I have no clue, but there's going to be one of these altcoins that's going to take off from a low position, and it's going to end up being one of these survivors. I mean, by the time this thing is all said and done, 90% of these altcoins are going to go bye-bye. They're going to be gone. They're going to be out of here. But there's going to be a few, and it's going to be the strong ones that are real and not pump and dumps that are going to survive. Okay, and so all I can say to you guys out there is that if you're in an altcoin, do your research, okay? Don't put all your money into it. Don't put every single cent you got into it. Please, I beg you. I've known this for 20 years. Do not put all your money in one altcoin. Don't do it. Spread it out and stay in the game. That's the whole key. You're trying to stay in the game. You put it all into one and it goes to crap, and it goes to zero, you're done. And
exactly. You'd rather be holding, you know, let's say 5, because all these are lotto players, like Jared was saying. You know, you don't know which one. None of us know really which one. We know which ones might have better odds of making it, but you know, you really don't know how the game's going to end up. So yeah, you know, 4, 5, 6, maybe kind of split it out there so you have 4, 5, 6 lotto plays rather than just putting all your money on one lotto ticket, so to speak. And then another thing, the lower this RSI is in the daily, the higher your odds are that it's going to get a bounce. And right now, a number of these are getting in the, you know, low 40s or in the high 30s, so that's a good sign we might get a bounce. And I would say, if I was doing a fishing play, I'd just put some orders down here right on top of that purple dash line, because that's going to be your support when it hits this massive, you know, resistance here that finally broke out of. That's going to be a real good support.
Yeah. Hey Joe, real quick. Sorry to interrupt. So I've got somebody asking about TRX and XVG. If you want to pull those up and maybe take a glance.
TRX?
TRX. Tron.
Oh, yeah. I thought I had that on there. Let me see. What else?
If not, I think I still have a saved chart.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to the dollar. Well, yeah, it's having a rough day too. And I just pulled up the dollar chart. So it's, about 6 cents, 5.9. So, I don't know, looking at it, let's see if I can do this. And what we're going to do, I don't know why it does that. We'll just pull this down and then see where the next supports are. Right here. Once it couldn't get over it, then it finally, see, that's the one you were talking about. It goes up, you had 2 days of consolidation, and then it blew up above support. So this, lower 5 cents might be a spot, and then you keep going across, and let me see if I can pull up a different chart of it that would make more sense. He's probably matched it with Bitcoin, Tron, Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So let me, I already had that. Look, I already had it on there. Okay. Just had that up there because that's where you're going to get a lot of massive selling if it got up there. Wow, I even had this already drawn up. Okay. So as you can see, even from months ago, whenever I did this, I already had the support in there right in here because of these high pivots.
Yeah.
This high pivot here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably where we're going right now.
Yeah, it's a double. That's a double top.
It is, but
yeah, that's a double top right there. And not only that, but wasn't TRX? I mean, and I did a little swing trade on it, and but it's one of those that you got to be careful with because you get so much hype into something about like news coming out on a certain date, right? And I think they're supposed to go on mainnet or something like that on May 31st. So even though it's getting this down move, who knows? There may be some people that might try to buy this dip, but boy, I would be really careful. I would be careful.
Yeah. And it was coming up to this double top too. See here, and then you come over, and then and it's spaced out that pretty good.
Yeah.
So generally, as soon as you come up to where people sold off, or people bought in rather, as soon as it gets up there, people are going, oh, thank goodness, it's back where I bought in. So guess what? I'm selling off. So that's why you have that double top, and it sells back down. See right here again, if people had bought it in at the last moment, and it got back up there, it sold off, just kind of give you an idea.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I even had it, down here as maybe a last resort, spot for a bounce. So anyway, that's kind of, if you're in it, that's just something you're going to have to, depending on where you got in at, depending on how good it looks.
Yeah, it's true. Very, very true.
Yeah, but right here would be probably your next, possible. Let me bring that down to be more strong. Yeah, see where it's closer to where all that resistance now going to be a bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, when it comes down there, then all this will support, and the 4 broke out. So that'll be good too. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about looking for a bounce right in here. Then that RSI will probably be down a lot lower by the time it gets there.
Absolutely.
Which helps your cause as well. And then, okay, let me see. What was the other one?
XVG. Verge. XVG.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask this guy in the channel, hey, CJ, are you looking at swing trading or are you long term? CJ Vic, are you long term or short term on either one of these? Because that's going to make a difference. because it'll probably get a bounce. I mean, so like TRX, I'll throw it over here real quick. Okay, so you're long term. Okay, so here's the thing. I got TRX pulled up on my daily chart.
Okay.
And so I've got fibs drawn in, and I've had this drawn in for a while. That 78 points, and that was a big spot right there. You could see it couldn't get past that fib retracement, the 78.6, and the 161.8 right above it. It could not get above that, and that was big. So now it's retracing back off that, and so now you still got the 261.8 on the downside here. And let's do this. I'll do it live. Hang on. If I was to throw in a fib retracement, and let's just draw it up here, and let's see where it's at. Okay, so right now it's sitting on the 61.8 retracement on this big red candle. It's probably, and look at this, the 78.6 and the 261.8 are almost lined up on each other, and you got the 50-day moving average hooking up still, so that could be a bounce area and a big support to watch, at least short term, and that's at 770. Okay, does that help? 770 area. And you would still potentially make a higher low, but right now you got to watch this because it could not get past that area up here. Okay, it could not get past that. What was that? 1,027? Yeah, it couldn't get past that. No, actually higher than that. 1,070. Okay, so people obviously bought into this on the news, and they bought way back here, and then the repump came in over here. And so people are, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to, and there's been a lot on Twitter that people are getting out before the news comes out. So I think some people have learned their lesson. They're getting smart about this, is that they're selling before the news comes out. So maybe this is one of those you buy the news. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's what I got on TRX. Okay, Joe, you got XVG ready to go?
What was that one?
XVG. Verge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, XV. Yeah, I had it up there a second ago, but when you put the daily, there's daily, let me try it's really not anything to really see. I mean, I had the daily up, and then this is a 4-hour. Each one of these candles is 4 hours, because it really hasn't been trading on that exchange that long, apparently.
Try a different exchange, Joe. Try if you can, try Bittrex.
Okay.
Try Bittrex real quick. I think you'll get more data on that one.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up on your. There it is.
Yeah, I can do Bitcoin.
Yeah, do Bittrex. There you go.
Bittrex, okay.
Yeah, Bittrex. There you go.
There.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah,
there
that's a lot better. Okay. Oh wow! See, I
you got that one right. Nice.
Wow. Apparently, I was looking at that one at some point. That's crazy.
Everybody was, Joe. Everybody.
Yeah.
I lost money on that.
Well,
I'll just be honest. I lost money on
that. Honestly, I never got in it because I didn't remember.
Right?
Did you see that wedge that I had there?
Oh, yeah.
And I was waiting for it to break up, and what did it do? It broke down, so
yeah.
I just forgot about it.
Sure
I didn't even go back to it. But, okay, well, let's start with you know what? Really, I was looking, this is where it got low, right here in the 20s and 30s, the RSI just off from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start looking at it, and then you get all these days of consolidation, and it dipped down a little bit,
yeah,
and it jumped up here, and then it kept above the 12 and the 20, and made its run. So what I'm getting at, we might be close to getting a rebound if it gets back down there again. I don't know. It might be the same thing once it hits there again. Is what I'm saying.
Look at it's interesting right there where you got your circle at. Look at how perfect that lined up. Was that you had the moving averages kind of converging, and then you had your RSI just starting to break out, and then you get your crossover, and then boom, there's your move.
Right. Yeah. That's really what you want to look at.
Yeah. So
RC.
Yeah, and so if I could, I'll just kind of, if I can take your mouse real quick, not trying to, but so look at these moving averages, guys. I mean, you got one on top of the other, and they're moving down. So you're not wanting to try to pick a bottom, so to speak. Okay, what you're wanting to do, and here's your play. Okay, is that you wait for it to make that move. Okay, and even wait until it gets past this. And once it comes back and tests that, is that the 10 or 12 right there, Joe? The upper one?
Oh, that's that 12 EMA.
Yeah, 12 EMA.
GDAX.
Look how perfect. Look at this. It went up, and you get the crossover. You get your RSI starting to go up, meaning it's strengthening. And then it comes back here, and it tests that moving average, and then it rockets higher. So that's your play, guys. You want to see... You don't try to buy it right in here, okay? That's your big boys and people that know something that are getting in, and then they go and pump it to everybody, and then it comes up. You get a bounce, and then you get a retest, and then it tests that moving average, and it holds it. And once it holds it, then you get in. So if that makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. And then I'm just going to throw a line down there and see. Trying to see what the most. I'm just going to put it right here for right now. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to catch as many of these candles as I can, put it in that area. That's probably where it's going to bounce from.
Boy, it sure looks like it, doesn't it? It really does. Yeah.
And who knows? But and then even back here, what gave it away was, all, like you said, the moving averages came in together. Let me see if I can put the 50 on there. So even the 50, it all just lined up perfect, and they added all the volume. So, man, I'm telling how many millions were made.
Oh my gosh! Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, and just to go a little bit further, let me do this. Wow, God, that is unbelievable, Verge. That is such a crazy one. Let's see.
See, that's why our group and the people that are on here now need to be watching these, and if we can get people kind of up and going on what to look for, they can, let everybody know, and we can start, because there's so many coins to look at, it's almost impossible to scan 2,000 coins a day or something.
It is. It's really tough. It is really tough.
Yeah.
But Verge or XVG, I'm going to do something real quick. And I'm going to do this live for everybody because I have not. I'm going to put my chart over there real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So I haven't done anything on Verge fib-wise, right? Okay. So I'm just going to do it live, and let's see what it shows. All right. So I'm going to take a fib retracement from that low up to this high. Okay. And so it's broke the 78.6. I forgot. Sorry, I need to put the 127.2 on there. Let's see where that lines up. And the 161.8. All right. Doubt that it's going to get there, okay? Or it may, for all I know, it could go to 0. And then let's just take a fib retracement from this low to this high. Okay? I think I got that right on there, I think. Yep. All right. So it broke the 127.2. Let's take this out of there. And it broke the 78.6. Oop, not that one. Let's go here. And I'll take that 61.8. All right. So there's kind of what you got on Verge, okay? Is that, or XVG. This 161.8, to me, in my opinion, is what has to hold. I mean, that 458 area has to hold, or you're coming down and you're retesting at 312. Golly, I can't believe that thing's dropped all the way down there. Okay, so 312. So, that just looks ugly. I'm sorry. I mean, it does. It just and it looks like it's I hope you're a long-term holder, because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like by the time this 50 gets down, you still have the 200 hooking up, but you got these moving averages screaming down, and Joe's chart just hit it on the nail with that moving average. Look at that. Every time it gets up to that, and I think mine is a 10 EMA, but it's close enough. It just hits that and rejects off of it every time. Since back here. Since it started this move right here, it's hit off and rejected it. So, hell, it may hit 458 live. I don't know. So, that's an area to watch. So, I'll pull that out of there, and we'll get back to Joe here. Yeah, that's ugly. That is ugly. Ugh. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to rip on it or anything like that, but I'm just calling it like I see it.
Okay, I don't know if we're back on.
Yeah, Corey says.
Back on me.
Yeah, Corey says he could be massive wrong, but he just don't see BTC back to 20,000. The only thing that would make him think it would trade over 9,500 and retest double bottom. What's our thoughts?
Well, Bix Weir had a good point the other day. I don't know if you guys follow him any on Road to Ruta. He's on YouTube and stuff. It's weird regarding Bitcoin. And the last time there were some financial issues and banking issues in Europe, Bitcoin had, I want to say he said, over 1,000% move. But of course, that was back when it was, under 1,000. You know what I mean? So it was a lot easier to move like that. And then, let me get off topic just for a second. Jared was talking about, those home runs with these altcoins, to get the right one, kind of spread it out, et cetera, et cetera. Well, if you think about it, back in 2000, I want to say 13 or 14, Litecoin was trading at, under 5 cents, under 10 cents. So it is possible, But, okay, back on Bitcoin. So the different banking issues over in Europe, and, he might be onto something. Each time there was an issue over there, Bitcoin made a huge run. And I don't know if that's just coincidental or if people were really coming over thinking that was a, whatever type of safe haven to get into. But that's, something to think about. Now, again is that strictly on the limited number of coins, and hopefully more people, getting in, over the next however many months. And I really thought it was going to, be running starting in probably April, May. So all this really is, blindsided me as far as, the hype and vigilance and everything that everyone was talking about, the first of the year through the first quarter. January, February, March, a lot of the more popular names on YouTube and Twitter and stuff, they were all going, hey, mass adoption's coming in, this, that, and another. And then, the fourth point of Bitcoin going higher, I really doubt if the NASDAQ would be, investing that much money. Merrill Lynch is investing money in all this to be able to trade it for their customers, like the NASDAQ is. And who else? Goldman Sachs. Everybody knows about in it. And no telling who else, little hedge funds or whatever that maybe, have $1 billion in there or something. But the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, they trade trillions per day, because they do all the commodities you can think of. And the last commodity they had on there was gold, and that was 40 years ago. And then the most recent one was Bitcoin, so they must think, it's going to be around to stay, and so on and so forth. So that's my theory on it. More people are coming to play the game and let more people on. And the reason why I think the Merrill Lynches and the not that they're small, but the smaller groups, the smaller, TD Ameritrade, those type of guys, as opposed to, the Goldman Sachs, are getting in, is because of their customer base. Their customers are asking about it. Their customers are wanting to get in here and play the game on what they feel is a strong, secure, maybe some sort of FDIC, guaranteed platform or bank. I think a lot of strong average people out there want to get in here and play, but they don't trust maybe a Polynex or a Binance or, all these other not necessarily weird names, but to them they're weird and strange and unfamiliar, and, they never got in here, and, it's a lot different than trading on Scott Trade and, or used to be Scott Trade, and now TD Ameritrade. It's, so the things are the same, but, I never had to do some of the stuff I had to do in order to move stocks around or coin trade and stuff. And unless you're just hungry and really, really want to do it, that's really it. We just have the hungry people in here right now that really want to get invested, really want to do it, because a lot of this you have to be self-taught, and there's not a lot of intuitive exchanges out there, except for maybe Gemini and Coinbase and maybe Bittrex, but there's some you got to do it. You got to want it right now, and as soon as they make it more easy, more accessible, and some of these bigger names are behind that exchange, then I think that's where you're going to see the more floodgates open, so to speak.
I agree, Joe. I kind of believe, and here's my thoughts on, and I'll answer Corey's question as well. I've been a long believer that, I hear every day that somebody's calling 50,000, 100,000 on Bitcoin. I'm sorry, I'm not in that camp. I don't believe it. At some point, this thing has got to get, and here's what's happening, and people don't realize it. Bitcoin is like anything else. It's in a bear market. Okay, and guys, I can only tell you, I have been in a bear market before. Okay, I've been in this for 20 years. I went through it 20 years ago with the NASDAQ, and I went through it 8 years ago with the NASDAQ. It's a bear market. And so bear markets, you know, everybody wants to try to say, okay, we're going to blast off and here's where we're going to go from. And then you don't, and it goes lower. And eventually what bear markets do is they get you so depressed that you just want to sell everything and get out. And that's the bottom. Okay?
Yeah.
So in your mind, when you think it's finally the bottom and I'm just going to sell out and I'm going to get rid of everything, that's your bottom. Okay? So just things are getting cheap, right? And they're getting cheaper by the day. But you have got to understand this is how markets work. It's not easy. If it was easy, we would all be millionaires. So I'm just saying it's a bear market, and you got to play it like a bear market. So when you have a chance to play a swing trade, because there's going to be swing trades, right, to the upside.
Yep, there is right now. Yeah,
you have got to play those swing trades, but you've got to get out and get out quickly. Okay, so you have got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, to back up, you're saying if you'll throw my chart on there, I'll show them what most.
Yeah, your chart's up. Your chart's up, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, what I've done, I've taken everything off except for the 50, which is the green, and the 200, which is this little purple line. And most institutional investors, hedge funds, all that, if it stays below that 50, like 3 to 5 days, they're out. I mean, they're already, you know, scaling out as soon as it crosses below, because that's considered, you know, a near-term bear market on the daily. So even if institutions were in here, they would have been out, like starting right about in here, they'd start scaling out. Actually, the first of this year, they would have been out.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And then where the panic came in is when, and I know everybody was laughing about it, because, you know, what they call a death cross, when the 50 crossed under that 200.
Right.
Right here, we're still there. And, I mean, we were able to get above the 50 for a couple of weeks here, then now we're back under it. So, yeah, technically we're still in there. Now, let me see what it looks like on the weekly. See, the weekly, yeah, we just, right now, we closed under it yesterday.
That's not good.
And we never have done that.
That's
and this
not
is
good.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, see, for 1, 2, 3 weeks, almost a month, you know, we were, you know, touching it and under it and up, and then came up, and also, you know, I'm always hammering in the lower highs and higher. Anyway, there's a high, then a lower high, that's about the same, and then a lower high. So we just kind of stared.
What we don't have in there, Joe, is the 200-day moving average yet. We don't have
right.
Yeah,
it's too new. Yeah,
it's too new.
Yeah,
we don't have
right.
that moving average. But once that one comes in, and if somebody was smart enough to try to, I don't know, put it in there, they probably could. But but anyway, yeah, it'll pop in there somewhere. My guess would be somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000. That's my guess.
Right. But, and then if you want me to do some kind of wild here? Yep. Have you guys ever heard of what they call hyper waves? Anyway, you take your log scale off, and you come over here. And this guy I've been following has been kind of scary. Well, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to touch everything.
Hey, real quick, while you're doing that, figure out what you're doing, and I'm gonna do something real quick for CJ. He's got a question.
Yeah, let me.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead and do what you're doing, and I'm gonna pull up TradingView real quick because he wants to know how to put in a moving average. So let me do this.
Oh yeah, they got to do that. Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a teaching channel, so we're going to teach you. Okay, CJ, are you still there? No, that didn't work. Okay, now let me do this. Okay, so CJ, let me, hang on, give me 1 second. Let me get all this crap off this chart real quick. And I'm just going to pull up a blank one.
Okay, I'm going to freak you out, JR, when you get back on my chart.
Absolutely.
You're calling for 5,000?
Yeah. You got it, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is too crazy.
Okay. Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it? Okay. All right. So CJ, oh, hang on. I got a couple of things to get off. Okay. So if you've got a blank chart, let me get that off there. Okay. So pull up a Bitcoin chart, and it doesn't really, pull up any chart. Okay. And hopefully it's blank and it looks something like this. Okay. Where it's just got candlesticks and that's it. Do you got that? Of course, this may not work on, because I don't have a pro account or whatever on. Anyway, all right. So go up here to the top and see where it says indicators. If you click on that, and then you go over here to the right and you kind of scroll down a little bit, and I'll go kind of slow for you, but scroll down until you start seeing moving average, and then you can see it right there. Moving average exponential. Okay, and so if you click on that, and don't click it more than once, just click it one time, and then exit out of it, and you'll see one little line right there. Okay, and then take your mouse and move it over that line until you can click on it. Okay, and you want to be able to do format. You want to format it. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there until you tell me if that looks like where you're at. Or if you need me to back up and do it again, I'll do it again. Okay, so hit format. And then see where it says length. That's your number, okay? So you want to put 10, 12, whatever you want to put in there, okay? And then before you exit out of it, just make it a color that you're familiar with, so that you'll be able to recognize it and say, when you look at a chart, you'll go, okay, that's the 10 or that's the 12 or whatever. So you can do that right here where it says MA and you got your color box. Okay, and then you can click and make whatever color you want to right in here. And then this little line just right over here, just to the right of it, you could move that over and make it thicker or thinner by scrolling it. Okay, see what I'm doing? You can make it thicker or thinner. So I usually keep my smaller moving averages thinner. Okay, like maybe one spot to the right. And then once you're done, just click OK. And there you go. There's your moving average. Then you just go back and repeat it. Does that make sense? You got it? All right, perfect. Okay, let me get this out of the way, and I'll let Joe take over. There we go. All right, Joe, it's all yours, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, there's another theory called hyperwave theory, and put it on the log scale, and then it. Anyway, you can measure the NASDAQ, the S&P, and everything off of it over the years. But anyway, here's Bitcoin for several years. That's another thing. That's the several years in a row that it's almost
I wish I was in it back then.
Oh yeah, really. No lie. Yeah, I mean that was some of that hodling or whatever. I mean, that's years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then as it takes off, you put the next trend line, the next one, and then at some point you can almost call the top as soon as it breaks one of these trend lines. And as you see, it never broke a trend line until it starts coming down.
Mm-hmm.
And then right here, it looked like it was going to not break it, but go back up and test it, but it never did, and it broke it. See this one here? It broke it and never was able to get above it.
Yeah.
And what's weird, we broke this one. So guess where the next trend line is? Right where you were talking about possibly the 200, right here around that
5,000.
5,000.
Interesting. Wow.
So, yeah. I don't know if it's possible or plausible or whatever you want to call it. It's just kind of crazy how that stuff works out. But I'm going to take another. There's a lot of people I think in there are big Litecoin folks. Let's see where we are. I was trying to get a little bit of a green candle, but that's just oversold.
Oversold. Yeah.
Yeah, day traders in there fighting for pennies right now.
Here's kind of. I'm going to throw this up here just real quick. This is, and let's see here. Let me move it over. Okay, so Bitcoin weekly chart. Okay, and you've seen this one, Joe. But here's, and I'll expand it out real quick just to give everybody a point of reference, okay? But from the data that I've got, or that I can go off of, back here in, what is that, 2015, August of 2015, you got this long uptrend line right here in blue. And it's coming up, right? It hit it once, hit it twice, did hit it 3 times. So that kind of confirmed that trend line, like it's strong, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually 4 times. And then it took the parabolic move. And now here we are in this little choppy zone, whatever, and we got this trend line, and then we got another one right below it. Okay, so if we take, whatever. But if you go back and look at this very long term, well, guess what? I mean, it's all the. I mean, it could. Who knows? I mean, I have no idea, guys, what Bitcoin could do in the future. I really don't. I'm looking at charts. I don't. But here's your point of reference and things to watch for. Is that if there was some sort of disaster or whatever, then 3,000 or possibly fib retracement wise 4,300, 4,742 or 4,752. That's if you take one move like this that it had from the top down to here. And if you moved it from here to here, and if that move was to equal this one, then you come all the way down to 47.52. I'm not saying it's going there, guys. I really don't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's going there. So don't think that, oh yeah, CryptoFibonacci said it's going to go here. I did not say that. I'm just saying I'm looking at the charts, and based on where we're at, you got to keep those things in the back of your mind. And so that's why I'm pointing this out. Don't sit here and think, oh, we're going to go to the moon or 20,000 or whatever. Just be aware of the downside, okay, and your risk. That's what this all boils down to, is your risk in the market. Okay? So don't just think based on what everybody says on Twitter or Facebook or at your office or wherever. Don't think that just because they said, oh yeah, somebody told me it's going to 50,000. Well, don't just go and buy it because they said so. Okay? Come back here and listen to me and Joe, and we'll give you the truth. We'll show you the truth. Okay? And we'll guide you through this. But don't listen to those pump and dumpers out there, because they're out there, I promise you. And you've probably seen it, but they're out there. So we're here to try to educate you guys and save you money. That's what we're here for. All right. I'll get off my soapbox and I'll take that off there. Okay?
No, that's fine. No, I just said this one has a specific chart that they want to look at, or a specific coin.
Yeah. Guys, you got anything out there you want to look at, or you want Joe to look at, guys? Any charts, coins? Anybody that wants something looked at?
And then I'll tell you, just in the meantime, everybody's, sitting there. Even if I was day trading, I would not get back into Bitcoin until it was over 7,200. Look at this 7,200. How strong. Yeah. See, I laid that purple line right there. See how strong that was for several hours. Mm-hmm. So that would be the roof you'd have to break through, get up, make sure it's held, and then, at least for a swing trade, you might be okay once it got, it channeled up and got above that 7,200. But, right now I'm just kind of in a holding pattern, just hide and watch. I'm just going to hide.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff right there, Joe. You're right on the money with that. I love that blue line right there that you got, that dash line. That's perfect.
Yeah, I think that would be safe, once it committed to breaking up and over.
Yeah.
That. And then also for the guys to look at, just right here, a little chart school, when you see everybody think, man, that's going up. It's going up. Well, it is, but it's not making higher highs, higher lows. It's not moving up and down. And when it moves up like that at an angle, what's about 45 or so?
Oh, yeah.
That's a bear flag, kind of, sort of.
It is.
And
big time.
It's going to crater down. That's not sustainable.
No.
So, it just kind of heads up. I'm trying to find one that, and see how this is going down. Mm-hmm. See, boom, 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 that angle.
Yeah.
And then you got your pop, but it just couldn't hold.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, we got a request. ZRX. Sheila wants to see ZRX.
Okay, what exchange do they trade that on, like Binance, or was all these going to be little? Oh, I got that. Never mind. Hold on.
It? Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching that too. Yeah, it was from her. Yeah, that little group watching it.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. See, that's like, what was it, ADA or whatever we were looking at? What was we were looking at? Digibyte was coming down. They were in this bull flag. Okay.
Wow. That's a cup and handle. That's a cup and handle too.
Oh, okay. And then look, this was the last time we did the live the live webinar deal, live stream. Anyway, coming down to this support because of this area here, and then back here. Just good vibration all throughout here, trading, resistance and support. So anyway, it might be ready to do something. If it gets the okay from Bitcoin or something else. That's the only, I don't know, this is getting off on a tangent, I won't do that, but that's the only issue I have with these pairings, is that, it's hard to break out on your own when you're paired with another coin, or it just seems that way. I don't know, it just seems locked in. But anyway, it looks like it's about ready to do something here. Hopefully, bottom line, it won't break this purple dash line. And so you could come down here to this, support area here in this zone. See how it came up?
Yeah.
Resistance. So now that should provide, support.
Can I borrow your chart for a sec?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so let me do this. I'm just curious. Now, let me do this first. There we go.
Oh, yeah, wow, it's on the 61.
It's on the 61.8, isn't it?
Pretty close. Yeah.
Let me format
Yeah,
that.
would you put mine, if you can remember, can you put mine the way you have yours? Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, let me,
Okay, cool.
let me do this. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that. Yeah.
All right, so
Man, that's crazy.
yeah, check that out. Hitting the 61.8, and it's got this little cup
Yeah.
and a handle.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
let me.
that's kind of what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And see, this is where that trend line was, too. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, this trend line, we had it right in here. See, so all that's coming together. I don't know what that means, but you know what I'm saying? Now, is it a higher percentage bounce off the 0.61? Or
Both the 61.8 and the 78.6. And I don't know why in the world. Wait a second. Hang on. What is that?
You need to.
There it is. Okay, there it is. 78. Is that the 75?
Yeah, that's what it said on. That's why I was going to have you.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, 75. That's not a fib. That's not a fib number. I don't know where that comes from. Let me do this.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and redo all that. And then also
there you go.
Well, okay. So the 61's okay? 0.61?
Yeah, 0.61. Yeah.
And then the point. Okay. All right, we're good to run now. Okay.
Yeah, so basically what it looks like on your chart there is if it drops below the 61.8, then it could drop all the way down to, gosh, what is that? A little under 75 cents? 72 cents. 72.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But look at this. Look at that volume bar over there, Joe. You see that to the right? Look at that big volume bar. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. That's interesting. So that's a big support. You would think a big support area. Somebody came in and bought a bunch right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's when a few days ago, last week or whatever, it was really being talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The platform and everything had some good PR.
Yeah. I'm going to borrow this one more minute here real quick.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Yeah, see, these are all off. And maybe this is what's going on. I've seen people try to put in like a 0.65 fib. There is no such thing as a 0.65 Fibonacci retracement. There is no way. It is not a Fibonacci number, I'm telling you. And if they try to tell you that, they're full of crap.
Okay. Well, set that up like you have yours. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. And let's just change maybe like the colors a little bit. Let's do, okay. So yours, we're going to keep it darker because you got a lighter background. Yeah, we're not going to do that live. We'll do that a little later.
Okay.
But anyway, Yeah, look at that. And it lines up right there. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Lines up perfect with your pivot. I mean, is that not just perfect?
Right, that is wild.
That is perfect. It's amazing how that happens. Okay, I'll let you. You got it.
No, I just, I don't know what else we could say about that, but maybe we get a little short-term bounce there. Mm-hmm. And of course, we know what happens. The probability if it doesn't.
Sure.
And then this, that's where I was looking at.
I was going to say that almost lines up with the 78.6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at this high pivot, the first high pivot's coming down, the first high, or right in there, this, and then over here. So so I'm not fudging, it's just right
mm-hmm.
Right there. See, because you went up, and then it based for 2 days, so that's considered a pivot right there. And then you come over, and that definitely is, resistance. It couldn't get through it. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4 days, it couldn't get through. So that's now support. So, it's real close. Close enough, government work, whatever.
That's for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, everything, a lot of stuff looks green unless, not everything, but.
Right. Does anybody else have any chart requests? Corey says, here's what Corey says. Corey says, when BTC falls, they all do, in my opinion, if we could break away from BTC, we would roll out.
I'm telling you, I agree absolutely. That's why
I do too.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. You're welcome, Sheila.
Yeah.
Sheila, you are welcome. Anything else you want to look at, Sheila?
Oh, and I was going to say, in the meantime, this little hourly chart, we were talking about Bitcoin getting over 72. Right here, same deal, but just a different number. I'd say 112.80, maybe even 113, before it'd be kind of safe to go in the water. As far as Litecoin,
mm-hmm.
this one, because you have all this right here for hours and hours, right there. Then it broke through it, and then once you did, you were gone. So maybe the break up, it'll,
Well, we're gonna have to watch because if it comes up, it's gonna test that area, and you can kind of see it. That if it tests this little area, that's going to be resistance because of those moving averages.
Exactly.
So if we can break through those and get a candle close above those, then that could be the start of something.
Yeah. And see, we could, the people that follow you and us and stuff, maybe we could watch that forum, and that'd be some kudos, to help people maybe get in a little earlier than in the herd. On launch and that. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to try to do, JR and I, over the next, whatever months through the summer, is try to, give people that little tactical advantage of where to get in, where to get out.
And here's the deal, is that just to let people know, some people are starting to drop out, but just to let you guys know, we're working on it on a more. This is going to look more professional than what it does right now, and it's going to be. Trust me, we'll test it before we get online, like we did tonight, and we had no sound. So in the future, we won't have that problem. But this website is going to have more content. It's going to have, I say website. The channel is going to have more content to it and look a little bit more professional. And just to give you guys a heads up, we are working on a website. We're going to have our own website. Okay? So that's coming in the future. We're working on it. So there's going to be plenty of educational material there. And just a no bull channel. No pump and dump stuff. It's just to educate you people so that you don't lose money in this market. So,
or as little as possible.
Or as little as possible. Right. Yeah, I'm not going to say everybody loses money. We're just going to try to minimize your risk. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's all of us. I mean, all of us are trying to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right.
Okay, guys. Does anybody have? I know we're probably going to be getting out of here pretty quick, or at least Joe. I know you got some activities you got to do. So, does anybody have any chart request? I mean, Joe, if you need to go, you can, and I'll just take over from here. And if anybody has any chart requests, I'll do it.
Well, I appreciate you, JR, letting me come on here and give a little spiel. This is your channel. People need to, subscribe. Because you're more on top of it all the time as far as live streams and good information. So, it was my pleasure, honor, be able to come on here and, kind of give my two
Joe, we appreciate you. You do excellent work, and it's always two heads are better than one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Because you definitely saw some stuff tonight that was pretty cool, pretty amazing. So
yeah, I think we make a pretty darn good team, and And so if everybody's excited about that, just get even more excited, because me and Joe are going to make this thing happen for you guys, and we're going to, help you guys out. So get excited, because good things are coming. So, Joe, I appreciate you coming in tonight, man.
Okay, you got it. We'll see you. We'll be talking to you.
All right, brother.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. So anyway, that was Joe on here tonight. Appreciate him, and